We are live at Humboldt Brews. The Wood Brothers are here, and what we're going to do is ask them a bunch of questions about who they are as people, but without further ado, let's get them up here and do some live music. The Wood Brothers on KHUM, Radio Without the Rules.
We're going to try to raise some questions here. We've come a long way for you tonight. We've had a broken down van. We got a new van. We had a flat tire. But we still made it. Nothing can stop us. All right. Wood Brothers, thank you all so much for being here. Let's start out with some drinking music. all right.
I don't know if this is my... Oh, it's on. All right, cool. Wood Brothers, we're live at Hum Brews. They are playing tonight. If you're just tuning in and listening to this on the radio, you should come out. I believe there are some tickets left, but I know pre-sale's been real good, so you want to jump on that just as soon as you can. So Hum Brews tonight, come check them out, with Amy Helm, no less. If you're listening to this, you would not know what Jono was playing. It was a guitar that looks like it had been run over by like a steamroller. Oliver Wood, could you explain what Jono was playing there?
Well, I'll explain it. I might not name it right away.
You know, you actually can name it.
I can?
Because it's a compound word.
Right, and really it's just a shatar.
A shatar.
A shatar.
Right.
And it's a... well, actually, I'll let Jono tell you more about it, but it is a former guitar, and now it's a shatar.
Yeah, it was a really bad guitar, and now it's got a lot of stuff on it.
It's a guitar that was bad.
It was bad. It acted bad, and that's what happens.
Well, we've got Jono on the drums and the shatar. We've got Oliver Wood on guitar. We've got Chris Wood on the upright bass. And as I told you earlier, Lucia from Devil Makes Three says thank you for the bass recommendation.
You're welcome, Lucia. I hope it's awesome.
She likes it very much. Wood Brothers, you guys, there's been a lot. Your dad was a molecular biologist, and he got there from being a folk singer. He was playing with Joan Baez, Cambridge scene. But he also had a radio show at Harvard. What did you ever hear tapes of that?
Yeah, we heard some stuff. You know, he actually, when the Joan Baez sort of retrospective box set came out, the first 2 or 3 cuts are with our dad, and I believe maybe one of those is from the radio show, and there's a couple live things from, you know, Harvard Square and some of the places around there. And it was right before she got really famous, and he was, you know, just part of that Cambridge folk scene. I mean, we grew up with him singing these songs around the house, and it's kind of like the same material that, you know, you kind of hear like on that first Bob Dylan record where he's doing mostly covers and, you know, Wabash Cannonball and all that kind of stuff. And then Tom Lehrer tunes, and My Baby went down the Pluggo and the Math song. And he could sing The Elements really good. That's the Tom Lehrer song, you know.
Harry Belafonte tunes, right?
Harry Belafonte tunes, you know. So he was hip to all that folk stuff, playing that kind of material.
He's like Tom Lehrer, who was, I think, a particle theorist or something before
like that,
making music.
Yeah.
It's complex.
He's like Tom Lehrer in reverse. Your dad, and your mom, who is no longer with us. She had Lou Gehrig's disease.
That's right.
Which is nasty. But before things went the way that they did, you guys got to interview your mom and get her narrative. What was on those tapes?
Well, it was you know ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. Your body deteriorates and you lose control, and eventually you can't speak. So as she was deteriorating, while she could still talk, we realized, you know, our mom has an interesting story. She was grew up in Germany during World War II and had to be like a refugee during the war. Things were getting a little hairy around there, and spent a lot of her childhood off in the Austrian countryside, just avoiding the main part of the war.
Living on potatoes.
Yeah.
Was there anything that came out of that interview that just blew your guys' mind?
The whole thing, really. I mean, just it's pretty amazing when you just look back one generation and see all the stuff that brought brought us here. You're like, wow, she went through all that, and here we are. It's an incredible journey, you know.
Yeah, and our mom was a poet, you know, and,
right.
and I think that was her way of processing everything that happened to her as a kid, because she had some heavy stories.
Yeah. It made her writing make more sense too. You know, we always knew of her writing, but we didn't really know all the details that inspired the writing. So it was cool to really learn the background, all those stories and all the poems and stuff.
Well, between the poetry and the folk music and the molecular biology and the intelligentsia, it just sounds like a really... Like, did you know when you were growing up, like, we have it weird?
We didn't know that.
No, you don't
You
know.
never knew, right?
You don't know.
Yeah. Well, the Wood Brothers are here. They're playing tonight. Let's do another tune. What would you like to play for us here on the Upstage live stage?
We're going to play a song from our first record. It's called Luckiest Man. Saturday and Sunday too. I was thinking about ways not to lose. But lay down my weapons is what I've done. Too late to hide, feet too soft to run. And people say I'm the luckiest man. Yeah, they say, and running is useless, fighting is foolish. You're not gonna win, but still you're the luckiest man. You're up against too many horses and mysterious forces. And what you don't know is you are the luckiest man. You're the luckiest man. I don't talk to the devil when he calls my name. But sometimes when I'm losing, it all seems the same. And when I fall, I'm back up again. Just to slip on the same mistake and slide right back in. People say I'm the luckiest man. Yeah, they say running is useless, fighting is foolish. You're not gonna win, but still you're the luckiest man. You're up against too many horses and mysterious forces. What you don't know is you are the luckiest man. You're the luckiest man. Try to keep my faith, keep my mind. I'd hate to lose either one when the whip cracks behind. And I can't help but mourn in just a little each night. When people say everything's gonna be alright, they say I'm the luckiest man. Say, running is useless, fighting is foolish. You're not gonna win, but still you're the luckiest man. You're up against too many horses and mysterious forces. What you don't know is you are the luckiest man. You're the luckiest man. Thank you.
It is the Wood Brothers live on Upstage Live. We've got a bunch of people tuned in via the internet. If you're watching the stream, we've got a nice clean board feed going through khum.com. So that board feed's going to be real clean, but you can watch the video as well through our Ustream. And thanks again to everybody for coming up. It's an early show here right now. And of course, tonight, Amy Helm's going to open up. Oliver Wood on guitar. King Johnson spent a bunch of years in that band based out of Atlanta, right? King
Correct.
Johnson,
Yep.
Atlanta band. But you lived on the West Coast for a little bit. You went to UC Santa Cruz.
I did. I went for 2 glorious years to UC Santa Cruz before I dropped out and
What did you study?
did this. I just studied, figuring out what to do and what not to do. I don't know. I don't remember. It was uneventful. I loved Santa Cruz though, amazing place.
Did you figure out what to do?
Working on it.
I think that would have been the period that like Gillian Welch was there, right?
You know, I'm not sure about that. It may have overlapped. I was clueless at that point, you know. So I don't know. She may have been there, but I know she came out of there too, right?
The other thing I want to ask you about, and I feel like you are alien in a particular way, which is like I think everybody in the room and everybody listening kind of grew up listening to Tom Petty music, and we all know Tom Petty music. But I heard that you were like a late in life Tom Petty enthusiast. Like you came into it sort of like a scientist into a jungle in a foreign.
How do you know that, by the way?
Is it true?
Yeah, I mean, I heard Tom Petty. Does this come up in a bio or something? What is it? Are we being punked?
You know, we like Tom Petty. I don't know if you feel this way, but you know, he was just part of the fabric of our childhood. You know, like MTV was starting in the '80s, and he was just one of those guys. I don't know, and he was on the radio, and we just kind of took it for granted. But there was this epiphany moment when we played a Bonnaroo a few years back, and Tom Petty was playing on the main stage, and we got to crowd in there with 80,000 other people and see his concert. And it was one of those moments where we're watching a show, and we're like, yeah, it's Tom Petty, you know, we knew his music growing up. But then when we listened to the concert, we realized that every single song was incredible, and we knew the words, and we didn't even realize how big of a part of his music was to our lives. And he had Stevie Nicks with him, and so the whole thing was deeply nostalgic. And for me, like that was when I first really realized, like, wait, this guy's actually a part of my life.
Yeah, and that's when
know?
we started buying the records. That's when like we got to check this out more seriously.
This Tom Petty, he's got a future.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Yeah, it's weird because he is like the sort of ubiquitous cultural wallpaper that you could easily ignore because you know it will always be there.
Especially when you're a music snob and we're growing up and we're learning our craft and we're like, whatever's on the radio is crap, and you know we tune that stuff out for a while.
I was checking out like Charles Mingus and stuff like that. So like I did Tom Petty to me in my childhood, and when I was first learning how to play, wasn't what I was paying attention to. But it wasn't until later I'm like, oh, this guy is pretty amazing.
He's a great songwriter. Just legendary and
absolutely.
in top form still.
Yep.
Chris Wood on the upright bass. You lived in New York jazz scene, and then you moved, I believe, upstate for a bit. But you were house shopping recently.
That's right. Found a good place to live in Nashville. Like Oliver and I have been talking about for years how nice it would be to live in the same town so we could actually rehearse and work on this music together. Because up until recently, it's all been winging it on the road and at sound checks and just trying to pull it together. So I moved to Nashville at the beginning of the summer. Oliver's been living there for about a year and a half. Jono lives there already, has been living there for a few years. Our sound man, Kenny Radwazo, also lives there. So the whole unit is kind of based out of Nashville now, which feels really good.
And you guys were apart, 2,000 miles apart for like a decade or two.
Yeah, our entire adulthood, really. So, which is getting.
It comes back to family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's. I was going to ask you about some other stuff, but we'll put that back for a sec. We're going to throw some questions from local school kids at you right around the corner. But let's do another song from the Wood Brothers live at Humbrew's.
All right.
Cool. Well, we're going to do one of the ones from this is the opening track, actually, on the new record.
wasting my mind on you. I'm missing my heart would have thought things through. I'm wasting my mind on you. Sweet confusion, always changing your point of view. To find illusion keeps me hanging on to find the truth. Look at me, I'm such a fool. Wasting my mind on you. Wasting my mind on you. I'm missing my heart, but I thought things through. But I'm wasting my mind. Wasting my mind on.
The Wood Brothers, we are live at Humboldt Brews. It is Upstage Live. And thanks again to the audience who's here. Everybody can come out tonight. It's going to be an earlier show. I believe the doors open at 8. Laurel, yell if that's not the case. That's what they're shooting for. So 8 o'clock, Amy Helm opening up. We got time for one more song. And again, we want to thank the Wood Brothers very, very much. His new record is awesome. You have to listen to it. Buddy Miller produced it. And he talks a lot about the sound of the room is very important. And you go, well, that's a producer thing to say. And then you listen to it and he nails it. It is unbelievable. Listen to it on headphones. He really did a great job. But now is the hard part of the interview, Wood Brothers. In this is a local baseball hat for our local, minor league baseball team, the Humboldt Crabs. Get crabs. And in here are a bunch of questions, and you don't know what they are, but they were questions posed by people who do not know you and probably won't. So, you ready? So I'm just gonna, let's just cut the deck here. We'll cut the deck. Ready? Here they come. We'll start with Chris Wood. Grab a question off the top, and then if you could read it right off the top, man.
Okay. Question is, what is the hardest decision you have ever made in life?
I'll take that right back.
That's actually, I know exactly what it is. It's very personal, though.
Do you want to take another one?
No, we. No, I'm a happy father of one child, and the hardest decision I and my wife ever made was whether or not to have a second child. That was by far the hardest decision I've ever had. Still
I get
have
that.
one.
I get that. That makes sense. That's
Especially
a heavy thing.
just, and it has a lot to do with my job, which is, I'm not home a lot. So
Right.
it's just something, it's a personal thing. It's a tough one.
Well, I know there's some parents here tonight who would agree that number 2 adds. It's exponential at that point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna mosey down this way to Oliver Wood and Oliver Wood. So you understand these are asked by like middle schoolers and elementary. So
Yeah, so they're not necessarily music questions. as
Oh,
you can
no.
See, they're
no,
deeper,
this is
they're
truth or
bigger.
dare.
What's more important, money or love?
You lucked out.
Hey, you got the easy one. Money.
that bag.
I mean,
Take
come
it
on.
I mean,
No.
I love music. I don't make money playing music. so-
Grab another one.
Really? I have to do 2?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You got off way too easy.
Oh, also personal. What was the hardest moment of your life? How did you
It's
overcome
easy
it?
for little kids to ask that because they
I
don't
know.
have a lot of life.
I know it's not like when
Yet.
your
So for
Legos
them,
fell
it's
down
like,
the heat
you know,
vent or something.
yeah.
It's not that.
Kids have a rough life around here, huh?
It's a hard times.
The hardest moment in my life, it's also pretty personal, but I would say it was, in general, a very dark, depressing, and futile effort to be happy, and I overcame it by persevering and writing songs about it, and everything's great.
That's where songs are supposed to come from, I think, a lot of times.
Yeah.
It'd be cooler if it didn't have to work that way.
No, and it doesn't have to work that way, but that is one of the muses, is the dark muse, the darkness.
I think Jono, are you down?
Yeah.
Here we go. Jono on drums and shatar.
Have you ever wished you were someone else? Who? Sure, that's easy. Well, let's see. When I was in middle school, I wished I was in Pink Floyd, and I wished I was Nick Mason.
Nick Mason. All right. You guys have done real good. I think, why don't we do a couple more for the Wood Brothers, and then we'll close out with a song.
Oh, God. Here
Chris
we go.
Wood, back into the gauntlet.
What was your greatest ambition as a child? What is it now? What if anything changed that?
What, if anything, changed that?
What, if anything? Okay. Yeah. My greatest ambition as a child. Well, I think, ambition was a good word for me. I was maybe over ambitious. And, I remember when I was about 14, I got really depressed because I heard that when by the time Mozart was that same age, he had already written his first symphony, and I just felt like, God, I got to get it together,
Over the hill.
I'm behind this, musical genius curve that I imagined myself to be on. And then, so that wasn't making me very happy. So I guess my ambition now is just to be happy with what I got. And it's really just to self-expression is what's more important than all that other stuff. So what changed that? Just realizing that I'll never be someone else.
Like
what I got
like
to work
Mozart.
with. This is it.
Yeah, that's fair. It's not too late. He was writing young. He wrote his first sonata at like 5, right?
Something like that.
I don't want to hear about it.
Okay. All right, and finally, on guitar, Oliver Wood. You're almost in the clear here. You've got one more question to navigate.
All right. What if Superman was invisible and he had a robot friend?
Pretty sure that's not a question.
Yeah, that's not what it says. Sorry. Where would you most like to be right now? Well, a tie with right here at this moment would be in the jacuzzi with some college co-eds. I don't know.
Like the proverbial jacuzzi, or just a specific one?
No, just a real down-home redwood jacuzzi.
Are you a jacuzzi aficionado?
No, I'm not.
It's not too late.
We grew up with a redwood jacuzzi, actually. We
Did
were
you?
Very fortunate, yeah. Privileged
I did too,
youth.
actually.
Yeah, we still
You
have
don't
splinters.
All right, well, they got through the questions. Give it up, audience, for the Wood Brothers. They made it through. We got time for one more, then we sign out. Wood Brothers live on Upstage Live from Humbrew's. They're playing here tonight. You got to come.
Thank you all so much for having us.
Hallelujah. Well, I just woke up from a dream so far away. And it's no accident I landed here. Eyes wide open and seeing clear. I have come a long, long way. And I am wiser now. My man Atlas told me I shouldn't try to hold his word up, no. He said, boy, you got some muscle you I never used. All you got to do is go ahead and wake up. Don't try to hold my word up. Don't try to hold my word. Don't try to hold my word up. Don't try to hold my word. Aphrodite, but a suitcase was my burden for so long. She said, boy, you got some heart and soul, but that's not what your love is for. Lay your burden down and we'll both be strong. Don't try to hold my word up. Don't try to hold my word. Don't try to hold my word up. Don't try to hold my word. Oh, yeah. I am stronger now. And my man Atlas told me I shouldn't try to hold his word up. He said, boy, you got some muscle you had never used. All you got to do is go ahead and wake up. Don't try to hold my word up. Don't try to hold my word. Don't try to hold my word up. Don't try to hold my word. No, no, don't try to hold my word up. Don't try to hold my word. Don't try to hold my word up. Don't try to hold my word.
The Wood Brothers, one more time. Tonight, Humbrew's. Doors
Thank
at
you.
8. Shows get going shortly after that. Amy Helm opening. We want to thank Humbrew's. We want to thank the Wood Brothers. We want to thank Kenny on sound. Anyway, one more time for the Wood Brothers. They were awesome.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.